y'all, this is Crystal Monds with Osatium. I'm going to be leading a 45-minute energizing yoga practice today. I'm wearing leggings printed all over with geometric patterns, mountaintops, clouds, sky, in pastel blues, pinks, purples, and greens. I'm also wearing a neon pink long sleeve athletic top with a mesh back. And today we are in a walking path in the middle of the forest with dappled sunlight. I am barefoot on a maroon mat with light turquoise and gray prints all over. Again, we're going to be doing an energizing practice just to wake up the body and wake up the mind and gently get some energy flowing today. We are going to start in the seated position in Indian style or half lotus or full lotus. Go ahead and rest the hands on the knees. Close your eyes and inhale deeply through the nose. Exhale deeply through the nose. Again, deep inhale and exhale. Deep inhale and exhale. Deep inhale. This time we're going to exhale through the mouth. Now slowly open the eyes. We're going to inhale the shoulders up. Exhale, drop them down and back. Again, inhale and lift. Exhale, drop. Inhale, lift. Exhale, drop. Inhale, lift. Exhale, drop. I'll clasp the hands together, send them up. We're going to lengthen the spine here, pull the navel back towards the spine. And just stretch everything up. And as you exhale, lower the hands down, clasp them together behind the back, and slowly fold forward, pulling the arms away from the body. If you can, lower the forehead onto the floor, go ahead. And we're going to slowly roll it up. Switch the legs. And again, start to walk the hands forward. We're just going to lean into that. Slowly walk the hands back. Roll it up. We're going to bring the left arm across the chest. Using the right hand, we're just going to pull it over towards your right. Stretching the shoulder, keeping the shoulder dropped. Now we're going to bring the right arm to the left, pulling it in with the left hand. Again, dropping that right shoulder. Release. We're going to push up into tabletop. Go ahead and push back into extended child's pose. Ooh. On your next inhale, keeping the chest low, push the body forward. Arch the back. Then lift the chest. Once the arms are extended, curve the spine. Tuck the tailbone under and drop the head. Exhale back down. We're going to do that 3 more times, inhaling as you arch on the way up, and exhaling as you curve on the way down. Keep the breath audible. On your last one, we're just going to exhale and hold here in your extended child's pose. Go ahead and push forward into tabletop. And we're going to kick the right foot forward from here. If you need to come up onto this front knee, go ahead and do that. If not, stay down with the palms on your mat or the fingertips on your mat. I'll curl the back toe under, kick the right leg back into plank. If you need to drop into half plank, you can drop the knees, slightly drop the hips as well, and breathe here. Then drop the knees, chest, and chin, sending the hips up. Now push the body forward, lift the chest and point the toes. Curl the toes under, push up and back into down dog. And just pedal the feet here, pressing the heels one at a time into your mat. I'll kick the left leg back, swing it forward between the hands. Again, keeping the hands low if you can, or coming up onto that knee if you need to. Curl the back toe under, kick forward, exhale into forward fold. Now we're going to slightly bend the knees, stretch the arms up and back. And bring the hands down into prayer. Relax here a few breaths. Now we want to make sure we're breathing into the belly, pressing the belly back towards the spine as you exhale. So taking deep breaths here, beyond the chest. Now we're going to do 2 more salutations, 1 on each side. And we're going to move at the pace of our breathing. So we're going to begin to regulate our breathing now. After that, we're going to slow down. So we're going to inhale the arms up and back. I'll show the modified versions first. Use this if you need to. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale the right leg back. So we're resting the hands on that left knee. And resting the right knee on your mat. Next is plank. Kicking that left leg back. Your modification here is your half plank. Remember to keep the hips slightly dropped so the body's at a steady incline. And go ahead and drop the body down, then send the hips up. So only the feet, the knees, and the chest, and the chin are in contact with your mat. Now push the body forward, lift the chest. Your modification here is Sphinx pose, so we're pressing the elbows and palms into your mat, the forearms as well. Otherwise you're doing Cobra or Up Dog. Exhale into Down Dog. Your modification here is a bit of a puppy pose. So the hips don't have to come all the way down. We're focusing on the shoulders. Now inhale the right leg back, then forward. Drop that foot between the hands and come up onto that front knee. Remember, these are all your modification poses. We're going to exhale, fold forward using the hand on the right knee to support us on our way up. Then inhale the arms up and back. I'm going to show the full versions this time. Interchange them as you need to. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale the left leg back this time. Exhale into plank. Inhale into 8-point pose, dropping the knees, chest, and chin. Or chaturanga, which is your half push-up with the elbows in. Inhale up into full cobra or up dog. Exhale, down dog. Inhale the left leg back, then forward. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale up and back. And here we're going to hold. Again, lengthening the spine, sending the chest and rib cage up. Pressing the hips forward. On your next exhale, bring the arms out to your sides and swan dive down. Go ahead and tuck the fingertips underneath the toes, chin into the chest, and just fold in as deeply as you can here. We're going to inhale into a flat back, palms on the shins, and exhale down again. Next, we're going to start to bend the knees, stretch the arms out in front of you. And here we're just going to sit back into chair pose and do what feels good for you here. So we have levels. If this is where you are today with the hands on the knees, that's fine. If you can get the hips lower, do that. Start to lift the chest. And take the arms out in front of you. Lift them higher if you can. Send the hips up, straighten the knees, fold down again. And now we're going to slowly roll up, one vertebra at a time, pressing the weight into the toes. And here, roll the shoulders back. then forward. Now we're going to shift the weight into the left foot. We're going to lift and spread the toes and lower them down one at a time. Raise that right knee in front of you. You can start by lifting onto the toe and start to raise that leg higher as you can. And just pull it in as close into the body as you can, pulling it into the chest. And we're going to open that leg out to your side. If this is a part where you need to go to a wall, go ahead and hold onto the wall with the left hand. Otherwise, you can bring that hand onto the hip or just stretch it out to your side. If you need to open up that left shoulder, you can wrap it around the back and bring it to the front onto that right thigh. I'm going to slowly bring that foot into the root of the thigh. If this right foot comes lower onto the leg, that's fine. Just make sure it's not resting on the knee. I'm going to bring the hands together into prayer. Inhale the arms straight up. Exhale, lower the hands down, out to your sides. And we're going to slowly release that right leg. It's a little bit of a flow, so we're just going to shake that out. Remember, we're getting the body warm. We're going to shift into the right foot now. Again, lift and spread the toes, lower them down. This covers a bigger surface area to help keep your balance. And we're going to raise that left knee in front of you again. Again, if you're using the wall, use the right hand on the wall this time. And just start to pull that knee as close as you can into the chest. And take your time here. And we're going to open that knee out to the side. Remember that right hand can do whatever it needs to. Release the right hand. Go ahead and bring the left foot into the root of the thigh or into tree. Along that right leg, bring the hands into prayer. Take the arms overhead. As you inhale deeply here. As you exhale, release the hands out to your sides. Release that leg. Again, shake it all out. Now we're going to turn towards the long side of your mat if you have it. And we're just going to spread the feet out to at least 4 feet apart. We're going to bring the hands onto the low back or out onto the hips. Press the hips forward. Lift the chest. Open the throat and drop the head back. We're just going to deepen that back bend. Take your time. You can rock into it if that feels good. On your next exhale, we're going to slowly fold it forward, keeping the chest lifted, back as straight as possible. You're going to feel this in the backs of the thighs, in the hamstrings, and probably behind the knees. And again, you can rock that out if that feels good to you today. Now we're going to go ahead and drop the head, curve the spine, and lower it down. You can drop the hands here. And bring the hands to wherever is comfortable. So if that's straight down onto your mat, that's good. If you want to grab the feet or the ankles, you can do that. Again, we're going to flatten the back and look straight ahead. And we're just going to, and on your next exhale, we're going to bend the right knee. Only come down a little, inhale it back to center. Exhale, bend the left knee, and come back to center. And we're just going to continue that gently. Side lunge from right to left. Always come to center on your inhale, and exhale to the side. As we do this, we want to make sure both feet stay grounded, heel to toe. And remember, we're not coming down very low, we're just warming up the legs, the hips. Maybe come a little lower each time, but keep the feet grounded, heel to toe. Inhale back to center after you've gone to both left and right. Exhale, fold forward. We're going to inhale, flatten the back. Clasp the hands together behind the back. Exhale, forward, pull the arms away from the body. Hold here a few breaths. Slowly lower the hands down. We're going to walk them towards the front of your mat. Bend that right knee into a lunge. Raise the back heel. Both hands should be on the inside of that right foot. We're just going to hold here a couple breaths. Flatten that back foot, walk it back towards your center, then back to your left. Bend that left knee, raise the right heel. Again into a lunge, both hands on the inside of the left foot. Again, we're going to walk it back towards your center, then towards the front of your mat. Kick the right leg back into plank or half plank if that feels good for you today. Remember your half plank, the knees are dropped, hips are slightly dropped. Now we're going to drop the right knee and raise the left hand up. And raise the left hand up into side plank. If you are comfortable raising both legs or both knees, then go ahead and do that. So both legs are straight here. Otherwise, keep that right knee dropped. Slowly bring it back to center. If you need to, drop the left knee, flatten the right foot, send the right arm up, into side plank on the other side. Focus up towards the right hand. Again, straighten both legs if that's good for you today. And slowly bring it back to center. Go ahead and drop the knees. Here we're going to straighten the right leg out behind you. Lift it up as high as you can. As you exhale, pull that knee into the chest, curve the spine. Bring the chin to chest as well. Again, we're going to inhale and straighten everything out, lifting that leg high. Exhale, pull it in. Squeeze the knee into the chest. Last time, inhale and lift. Lengthen. Exhale, pull the knee in. And release to center. Now we're going to stretch the left leg out behind you. And just lift that leg as high as you can. Exhale, pull it in. Inhale, lengthen. Lift. Exhale, squeeze that knee into the chest. Inhale, stretch it out. Exhale, pull it in. And return to neutral. Here we're just going to do a few cat-cows, inhaling as you arch the spine, and exhaling as you curve. Now we're going to curl the toes under, send the hips back into down dog. Just pedal the feet here. We're going to do a few things, so if anything feels uncomfortable, then go back to the last pose that felt good. It's always okay to try a new pose, even if it sounds or looks like it's not going to work. If it doesn't work, you can just go back. And if you know that it's not going to work, you don't even have to start it. So listen to your body, listen to your limits. We're going to go ahead and press the heels down as much as you can. Slightly arch the spine, sending the hips up. Lower the chest, back towards the knees so we're lengthening the shoulders. So fully extended down dog here. On your next exhale, we're going to lower down onto the elbows. And again, just breathe here. You might have noticed the heels lifted a little bit. That's okay. If you can lower them back down, do that. If not, that's still good. Now we're just going to slightly hover forward until the shoulders come directly over the elbows. And push it back again as you exhale. Again, inhale, hover forward. Exhale, push it back. Last time, inhale, hover forward. Exhale, push it back. Go ahead and drop the knees. Drop the hips. And bring the hands down to your side into child's pose. Now we're going to slowly bring it back up. So we're going to bring the forearms onto your mat. And we're going to go ahead and clasp the hands together. And we're going to do the same thing again. So it looks like a down dog. We're just going to lift the hips, curl the toes under, and go ahead and send the hips up. From here, we're just going to raise the right leg straight up. As you lift that left foot up as high onto the toes as you can. Now the gaze is focused between the elbows here. So don't rest the head, don't look straight back towards the feet. Lower that right leg down and raise the left. Again, lifting that right foot up onto the toe. And lower that down. Again, drop both knees. This time we're going to stretch the arms out in front of us. Start to lower the chest and the hips up into puppy pose. So in puppy pose, we're just focused on lowering the chest as close as you can to your mat. We're lengthening the shoulders. It doesn't really matter what the hips do as long as they're not strained. Focus on lengthening the shoulders. I'll slowly lower the hips back down. We're going to roll up so that you're sitting on the feet. Take your time doing this. And we're just going to drop the shoulders onto the back here. Here we're going to go ahead and lift up onto the knees. And we're just going to do a chest opener before we end our practice. So bring the hands onto the hips, press the hips forward, lift the chest, drop the head back. If you have space here, you can curl the toes under and go ahead and bring the hands down onto the feet. Keep the hips pressed forward. If that's not going to work for you, you can just start to walk the hands down the thighs. I'll slowly lower the hips down. And we're going to release the legs out in front of you one at a time. Go ahead and push up towards the front of your mat. And we're going to pull the knees into the body, lifting up onto the toes. And when you're ready, lifting the toes. Next, we're going to straighten the legs out into boat pose. If you need to do one leg at a time, go ahead. If you can do both, go ahead and do both. Now remember, the legs don't have to be extremely straight. Always do what works for you today. If there's a slight bend, that's good. If you need to drop the hands or the elbows for support, you can do that as well. When and if you're ready, release the hands out in front of you. Very slowly open up and lower down onto your mat. Stretch the arms overhead. Stretch the fingers out and away, toes out and away. We're just going to shake everything out, wiggle it all out. I'll stretch both arms and legs up until they meet or come as close as possible. Again, we're going to open the arms up. And again, shake and wiggle it out. Again, bring everything straight up. And now we're just going to pull the legs in. Bring the soles of the feet together, and dropping the knees out to your sides. And you can stay here, or you can go ahead and begin to open the legs up into Happy Baby. And just rock side to side here. Straighten the legs if that feels good today. If you need to take that stretch deeper. Now go ahead and bring the soles back together. Lower them down to your mat. Allow the knees to fall out to your sides. And you can just rest the hands on the inner thigh or bring the fists underneath the outer thighs for support. You can just hold here as we move through Shavasana and release the legs whenever you're ready. So go ahead and close the eyes. Slightly wiggle the fingers and relax the fingers. Wiggle the toes and relax the toes. Relax the feet and the ankles. Relax the calves and the knees. Relax the thighs and the glutes. Relax the pelvis and the abdomen. Release any tension from the spine, starting from the lower back, the middle back, and the upper back. Open up the chest and allow the shoulders to sink into your mat. Relax the upper arms and the elbows, the forearms, the wrists and the hands. Release any tension from the neck and the jaw. Relax the cheeks and the eyebrows and the rest of the face. Focus on your breath. Tracing your inhales, filling the belly. Tracing the exhales. Now gently wiggle the fingers, wiggle the toes, rotate the hands in both directions, rotate the feet in both directions, turn the head to the left, then to the right. I'll raise your right arm and rest it above you on your mat. Bring the left hand onto the abdomen and roll over onto your right side. Relax here in the fetal position, a couple more breaths. When you're ready, keeping the eyes closed, slowly roll up into a comfortable meditative position. And we're going to take a deep inhale. Exhale through the mouth. Again, deep inhale. Exhale. Deep inhale. Exhale. We're going to do a few cooling breaths or shitali breaths. So if you can curl your tongue, if you're one of those people that can curl the tongue so they come up on the sides, do that. Slightly stick it out of the lips. If you're not one of those people, it is genetic, then we're just going to bring the teeth together, slightly part the lips. And what we're going to do is just suck air into the teeth or through the tongue like a straw, depending on what your mouth is doing. So we're going to take a sharp inhale through the teeth or through the tongue. Slowly exhale through the nose. Again, sharp inhale. Exhale through the nose. Inhale. Exhale. Return to your normal breathing. Release any remaining tensions from the body. If that's the neck or the shoulders, or you need to wiggle the fingers and toes, just do what's needed for you. Now let's bring the hands and rub them together to generate heat. And cup them over the eyes. Slowly blink the eyes open. And bring the hands down into prayer over the heart. Namaste. Thank you so much for joining me in this practice. I hope you got what you need. I hope the body feels awake and energized and that the mind is a little more focused. And again, my name is Crystal Monds with Osatium. And I hope that this has prepared you for whatever happens next in your day. Thank y'all.